All right, what's up, YouTube? Happy, what's today? Tuesday, January 30th. We are almost at the end of this month, and I hope that you guys are doing very well. Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know me, it is Christine Hronik, food scientist, chemical engineer, and I wanted to pop on here and talk about habit stacking and why it is effective for weight loss. So for those of you guys who are new to the channel, you will know that I do a lot of videos about the science of fat loss, but I also want to talk about the mental aspect, the practical aspect, and the things that are really going to make or break your progress. So for those of you guys who did not know, I am actually running a winter sale, and there is one day left on my winter sale for one-on-one online coaching, which is 50% off 12-week packages on up. The packages go from 12 weeks all the way up to 1 year. And I want you guys to just please join in. Please comment where you are from, because this is going to be a really helpful discussion for many of you. And if you enjoy these live streams, if you enjoy getting just extra tips for motivation, inspiration, and things that just really help keep you mentally focused with your goals, this is going to be the live stream that you are not going to want to miss out on. So good morning, Sarah from British Columbia, Canada. I carry this like big ass water jug all day to make sure I get my water in. And habit stacking is a relatively simple concept, but it is something that is so underrated. And the reason why I want to bring it up is because how many of you have ever started a fat loss plan or a weight loss plan, and you find yourself getting very overwhelmed very quickly? If you get overwhelmed where you feel defeated before you even begin, and I know that can sound really weird, right? But I've been there, and I'm not sure if you guys ever have, where you're like, oh my goodness, I need to be doing cardio, I need to be drinking water, I need to be prepping meals, I need to be tracking macros, I need to be weight training, I need to be focusing on my post-workout shake, I need to get my pre-workout snack, I need to make sure I'm sleeping enough. And sometimes it can be overwhelming, and you feel sometimes kind of like you suck, right? You feel like you suck because it can be hard to just dive right in and just do all the things. And you know that that's where your results are going to come from, because A+ effort yields A+ results. So you're not afraid of a challenge, but for whatever reason, it just feels hard to get into a groove because there's so many things to do and you feel like you're not doing any of them well. And as a result, so many of you guys, myself included, can just be ready to just not go the distance. So what habit stacking does is, number one, it creates healthier habits. Number two, yes, it will help you lose weight. But number three, it's going to make you more productive. And it gives you the experience of winning. And I'm going to explain why experiencing wins on a daily basis is so crucial. Did you know that when you win at something, it gives your mind and body the same dopamine rush as if you ate like a sugary snack? And these wins, these dopamine spikes that your body experiences, are very beneficial. It is very helpful, and it really puts you in a positive headspace that's going to keep you going. So an example of habit stacking, instead of saying, I'm going to do the 6-week shred, which is my best-selling nutrition plan, and it's a great plan. Instead of just diving in with that, instead you might be like, you know what? This week I'm going to prep my lunches, and I'm going to prep one of the recipes off of the meal plan. I'll cook that for my lunch, and I'll start there. And there's nothing wrong with taking a couple days to just allow yourself to get back into the groove. And honestly, my friends, the times I have been most successful with my health, just my health in general, let alone fat loss, but just health, is when I give myself the luxury of warming up into it in terms of habit stacking. So for example, instead of saying I'm gonna do this like 2 hour hardcore workout, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm going to do 4 exercises, and I decide, okay, today's a push day, today's a pull day, or today's a leg day. And for me, I'm like, I do 4 exercises that fit the muscle group that I'm working. That's a win. If I can do more, that's great. But at least I did that, and I know that I can have the tendency to get overwhelmed. I know my clients can get very overwhelmed, and it just feels like you have so much to do. But what would happen if you took baby steps? What would happen if you invested in one of the shred plans, because it's good to have a guide to work off of, but instead of just saying, you know what, I'm going to start tomorrow. And that's great, and you can do that, don't get me wrong, and there's lots of people who do that, they do that successfully, and they have great results. And perhaps I'm not speaking to that person today. I'm talking to the person who feels defeated easily, who feels frustrated easily. Maybe you get overwhelmed easily. Maybe there's just a lot of other things going on in your life right now, and you want to get your health together and you want to do it, but you can't have that feeling like you're behind the 8 ball because it discourages you. Does that make sense? And I'm speaking to the people on here who are discouraged. If you're discouraged, if you have stubborn weight on your body, or let's say your weight is creeping up. Is there anybody on here whose weight is creeping up and you know it's creeping up? It's creeping up and you don't even want to step on the scale. You know it's happening. You know that your clothes are fitting differently. You know that you are in a state right now where you are gaining weight, or if you don't get on top of it, it is going to snowball into something that you know you don't want to experience. You get headaches from your glasses, getting too tight with weight gain, and that's got to be very frustrating. And habit stacking would be like, you know what? Let's say for this week, we're going to make your #1 goal to get a gallon of water every day. And let's say that's like for the first day or even day 1. Then let's say day 2, you start with your gallon of water, but then you say, you know what, I'm going to do a mindset journal where I'm going to just write down 3 things I'm grateful for today. What are 3 things that I'm grateful for? And those 2 things sound so simple. You might think, how is that going to make me lose weight? But if you're drinking more water, you're less likely to be drinking sugary stuff. You're less likely to be drinking your calories. And your body's probably feeling good, and water keeps you really full. The next thing is, if you start your day with water and you start your day with gratitude. I'm really big on gratitude, my friends, because it's so easy to fall into this mental trap of overwhelm, this mental trap of discouragement, this mental trap of procrastination. And it's so easy to just be like, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. But when you say, you know what am I grateful for today? And you start your day off with this headspace that's like, wow, I have a warm bed, I have running water, I have heat, I have food in the fridge, I woke up this morning, I have 2 good eyes, I have 2 good legs, I have my loved ones, I have my health, I have a home, I have a vehicle, I have a laptop, I have a cell phone. Like, the list can go on and on and on and on. When you really pause and say, what am I grateful for? And guys, if you are not currently starting your day off with gratitude or prayer or meditation or something in that realm, you're really doing yourself a huge disservice, because there's something about gratitude that's so humbling, and humility always puts you in a better headspace. My cooking says, hi, I have belly fat, squishy. I have done everything, nothing helping. Can you help, please? I would love to help you out. So there's a couple options you have. I have a sale, 50% off for one-on-one online coaching, where I would work with you directly for the number of weeks. of the program and package that you order. What that means is I will create a nutrition plan for you, a training plan for you. You and I will meet every week via Zoom or phone. We'll discuss your goals. We'll look at your progress photos. We'll look at your measurements every week. We will make adjustments to your plan. I'll hold you accountable throughout the week. That would be an option. I have DIY meal plans. So what I would like you to do is shoot me a private message over on my Instagram account so I can talk to you directly and point you in the right direction. If you're not on Instagram, shoot me an email at info@gaugegirltraining.com, and gaugegirl is spelled GAUGEGIRL training.com. Today's topic is habit stacking. So for instance, picture 7 days where every day we're going to add an additional habit to the existing base of habits. So a really good place to start is drinking a gallon of water a day. Hey, Michaela from Utah, drinking a gallon of water a day. That is an excellent, excellent, excellent place to start. Water is so underrated when it comes to getting you on track for your health goals. So let's say every day you're going to drink a gallon of water. And let's say on day 2, you are going to add daily gratitudes in your journal. And guys, I'm not talking about giving you an exercise in futility. I'm talking about giving you something meaningful to focus your mind in the morning. And if you're enjoying this type of chat, please give this a thumbs up, because the difference between the folks who reach their goals and those who don't, it's all gonna land on your daily habits. And I can give you the best meal plan. I can give you the best macros. I can give you the best workouts. I can coach you. I can remind you. We can do all of those things, but it's up to you to maintain these daily habits. And these habits have to make sense. And if your habits are not aligned with your goals, you're gonna have a really, really hard time. You're gonna have a really hard time reaching your health goals. So again, habit 1, drinking a gallon of water a day. Habit 2, a gratitude journal of 3 things that you're grateful for. Now, habit 3 is daily walks. Now, some of you are like my go-getters. You are doing the 10K steps a day and you're crushing it, and I love that for you. But there are other folks watching right now who would struggle to walk around the block. And there is no shame in that. We got to keep it very real. We need to be very humble. We need to be very honest about where we are. If you would struggle to walk around the block right now, and it could be for a lot of reasons, maybe you're just exhausted and fatigued all the time. I think monk fruit in the raw is a great sweetener, actually. I think that another reason why you may not be able to get 10,000 steps in a day, again, it could be overwhelming. You could be fatigued. You could be depressed. And I don't want to downplay the role of depression and anxiety on getting your butt in gear, because I've personally experienced those things. I've had clients who've been through those things. I have friends who have been through those things. I have family who have been through those things. As if anyone's ever been through a serious depression or a serious funk and you're just not feeling like yourself, where the concept of walking around the block feels just so overwhelming and so intimidating, please know that you're not alone. Please know that it is okay to take baby steps, and I'm giving you permission to take baby steps. So habit 3 is daily walks, and I say a daily walk for 20 minutes. I'm not asking you guys to do 5K steps. I'm not asking you to do 10K steps. I'm just asking you that on the 3rd day, you do a 20-minute walk. And Sharon says, also the holidays really got me off track. I had a high metabolism. I'm trying to bring it back up. And that is very, very real. The holidays can really slow you down. It can really slow you down, and it can really make it hard to reestablish that momentum. PPD got you for a year. It was so hard to see through the fog, and I appreciate that honesty. And that's the type of honesty and authenticity that I want to bring to you guys, because when things are hard, when things are more challenging than normal, where basic tasks seem hard, the idea of tracking macros and meal prepping and going to the gym and it can feel really overwhelming. So if you guys are enjoying this topic, I'm going to ask for a quick favor. Please give me a thumbs up here on the screen, a thumbs up the video, and please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and you hit the bell for notifications so you know when I go live. But getting into the habit of walking for 20 minutes a day is a great place to start. And you can gradually increase that day by day, but you don't have to start at 10,000 steps a day. You don't have to. That's wonderful if you do. You're gonna see faster results if you do, but if you just need a minute, if you just need a minute to like get it in gear and get in a better headspace, I strongly encourage you to start with just 20 minutes. And guys, if 20 minutes is too much for you right now, start with 15. If 15 is too much for you, start with 10. If 10 is too much for you, start with 5, because you can always build from there. The next one is about boosting your protein per meal. So boosting your protein is a very tangible way to see improvements in your energy levels. It's a way that's going to naturally manage your hunger hormones. It's naturally going to help your body tap into stored fat as a fuel source. Now, granted, that is when you were in a caloric deficit, but you just need to get into the habit of having a higher amount of protein with each meal. Like at any point, you shouldn't technically have an all carb meal. I mean, yes, there's cheat meals, there's this, but on the regular, you really need protein with every meal. And then from there, you know, obviously you can start integrating getting to the gym, but again, it doesn't have to start out at 7 days a week. You can start off with 2 times a week. You start off with 3 times a week, building from there. And then another habit that is easy to stack for beginners is just getting into the habit of cooking your meals. So for all of you guys watching this, I encourage you to get started by ordering one of my 6-week shred meal plans, because it's going to give you really healthy recipes that have really been thought through, that taste good, that are simple and easy to make, and eventually you can follow that meal plan. And if you're in a good headspace where you're mentally ready and you want to be told what to do and you want to see your results, start there. I encourage you guys to shoot me a private message with the word shred, or visit my website, gaugegirltraining.com, and take the quiz. And that quiz is going to tell you what your macro type is, which is going to be the best way to fuel your unique body type. But please note, you guys, there is 1 day left to save on my winter coaching special. I still have 2 spots available if you wanted to work with me one-on-one, and it is 50% off. The details are on gaugegirltraining.com, or if you want to talk to me further, any questions, shoot me a private message over on Instagram to discuss, or you can email me. So habit stacking, my friends, habit stacking is something that is going to help you overcome the overwhelming shift that you're going to have to make to be successful. Because let me be honest with you guys. If you want to lose weight, you have to eat in a caloric deficit, and you have to do so consistently. And that level of consistency, it's not going to happen in a day. It's not going to happen in a week. Yes, you'll see some results in a month, but you need to be able to do this for at least 3 months or longer, minimum. And 3 months is 12 weeks. 12 weeks is 84 days. Like, if you can't realistically see yourself holding on for 84 days, you're not going to see the changes that you really want to see. And in my experience, you are going to be so much more successful if you allow yourself to ease into it in a way that feels doable, in a way that gives you a positive feedback loop where you're like, dang, okay, yes, I got my water done. Yes, I did my gratitude journal. Yes, I did my walk today. And yes, I'm eating more protein. Like, those are all things that are going to really make you feel good. They're going to give you that oomph to keep on keeping on. And it's just going to make you more successful in the long run, because I get really upset when I see people trying to do too much too soon, and then they just crash and burn and crash and burn and crash and burn. And My point is, there is a better way. There is a much better way to get yourself to the point where you are crushing it. And that is by stacking these habits, getting into a morning routine, getting good quality sleep, going for walks, doing all of those things, my friends. So Michaela says, do you have advice for those living with a family that has toxic diet mentality? I feel like I don't get support unless they see your weight loss. What I'm going to say is that you can't rely on them to be your support system. And that's just sad to say, but while we would love for all of our family members to be supportive and to be understanding and to really like cheer us on in the way that we need to, Michaela, I would strongly encourage you, if you're not already a member of my private Facebook group, or if you've never done one of my challenges, that will give you a sense of community that is going to be second to none, because other folks are just not going to understand. They're not going to understand the concept of macros. They're not going to understand the concept of consistency. They're not going to understand the all or something mentality. And it's to their detriment, but unfortunately, too many people out there, like the masses, look at this as very black and white, when the reality is you are going to have highs and lows. But the key is remaining consistent in spite of that. The key is celebrating those non-scale victories. The key is making this manageable in a way so that way you can be consistent in the long term. And I think that it can be really frustrating because so many people look at this as black and white, and they may only congratulate you or reward you when you see a significant change. And the thing is, that type of significant change that people want to congratulate you on, which is great, that's going to take you months to accomplish. What are you going to do in the meantime? You got to take it one day at a time. And people are not going to understand. And I'm just keeping it like very real with you, that you can't expect that from people. It's sad, but it's just true. And I'm really glad, Deanna, the Facebook group is amazing. Gauge Girl Training. We have a Team Gauge Girl Accountability Forum on Facebook. And that group there's just so much love in there. It's so real. It's so encouraging. Like, it's a no judgment zone. It's very safe. I've had people share all kinds of personal things in there. I've shared personal things in there. You feel seen, you feel heard, you feel encouraged. And even if you are having a bad day and you share that you're having a bad day in there, people are going to pick you up. They're not going to shame you. They're not going to just be like, people are going to meet you where you are. And as women, as you guys know, especially if you're dealing with hormone imbalances, the mood swings associated with female hormones is real. And has anyone here ever been so frustrated by your mood swings, if that makes sense? My period's coming, and the amount of just fluctuation in moods can be very overwhelming. It can be very discouraging. And sometimes, like, you have to do what's best for you and your health. Jackie Brown says, good morning. How do you feel about the use of raw honey in moderation? 1 teaspoon in my morning coffee with cinnamon and ginger. So, I personally, Jackie, don't like to drink my calories. However, if you like the taste of it, I mean, a teaspoon, that's what, 5 carbs, 5 carbs, 20 calories. That's not a game changer. That's not going to be a deal breaker. Just make sure you track it. Add it to your macros log for the day. You should be fine. I don't like to add a stigma that any food is good or bad. Just certain foods are more optimal than others. I don't see anything wrong with raw honey. It's not something I particularly lean towards. I'm not really into sweets. If I do want something sweet, I would just use the sweetness from my collagen, the vanilla collagen or the chocolate collagen in like my coffee, or like warm almond milk. So I'm not a sweets person. And did I ever tell you guys why I'm not a sweets person? I'm not a sweets person because I have a nut allergy. I have a really like bad peanut allergy, and so many foods growing up have that may contain traces of, and I've had so many emergency room visits in my life. So I kind of just steer clear of sweets unless I made it myself. So it's a blessing and a curse. But Michaela says, really great wisdom. My in-laws have been disappointing. And you know what though, girl? Like, I think the sooner you accept the fact in your heart and in your mind that you can't expect anything from anyone, because I think a key to not being disappointed is to change your expectations, especially when we have expectations on others, because you can't control other people. You can't control other people. Like, you might think you can in your brain. You can't. You can't. And you can't put that pressure on your partner, your boyfriend, your husband, your significant other, your best friend, your family. You just can't put that pressure on them because it's your journey. It's your journey. It's your body. They're just not going to get it. And if you have that support, that's wonderful. But I think it's unrealistic to expect that from them. And I'm just keeping it real with you guys. Amira says, my family is the same way, difficult to ignore the people you're around the most. And agreed, Amira. Like I said, if you're around them the most, what I would encourage you to do is listen to these talks that I'm doing, get in the Facebook group. And that's another reason why I have been showing up as much as I have been lately on YouTube in this capacity, doing these live streams, because your motivation cup can never be too full. You can never have enough positivity. You can never have enough reminders. You can never have enough of this type of stuff in your brain flowing through your mind. You can never have enough of it, because when like whatever you feed into your mind is what you're going to get out. So if you're feeding in like all this toxic energy, if you're feeding it like, you know, being frustrated and having people who are like offering you pizza and cookies and just really just completely blasé about your goals, like, you need people who are going to be reminding you to be like, you know what, drink your water, girl. You know what, go for a walk. You know what, girl, like, go to the grocery store. You need people pouring into you. You need people to pour into you. And I'm telling you, my friends, like, being around people who pour into you versus people who drain you, who knows what I'm talking about? How many people watching this have folks around them that just drain the living, they just drain the life out of you? And just being around them can be so overwhelming. It can be so exhausting, just dealing with them and their things, that you feel like you have no energy left for you. Or even if you did, you just feel so defeated and frustrated that you don't even want to try anymore. Jackie Brown says, thank you for your response. I forgot to mention, yes, you put the collagen peptides in as well. Oh, that's awesome. The Gage Life collagen peptides are so good. I have been on a chocolate collagen kick. The other day I made this collagen hot chocolate. The collagen hot chocolate is so good. It's so good. So good. Like, I warmed up some almond milk. I put the collagen in it. I whisked it up. Now, you can add extra sweetener if you want. You can add extra fats if you want. But I feel like I'm eating something really chocolatey, and it's like virtually no carbs in it. So it's really wonderful. Michaela says, you're right. I just thought the in-laws would at least keep their thoughts to themselves. Oh, geez. If not supportive, I can definitely have a mind shift. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate you too, girl. I appreciate you sharing that. But dang, you know what? You know what though? Can I tell you something, Michaela? That's probably a blessing in disguise, and I'm gonna tell you why. If you have people who are constantly like saying negative things to you, like you're talking about how to keep their thoughts to themselves, if it's not supportive, that could be fuel, and that could be a good thing. Like, does that make sense? Have any of you guys ever taken something negative someone said to you and you use that as fuel and you use that to push you and you use that to drive you out? Because, man, if someone like pisses me off like in just the right way, you actually did me a favor. And real talk, Michaela, they might be low-key doing you a favor, because it's all gonna result in how you respond to it. It's all gonna result in how you respond to it. But sometimes negativity can be a great fuel to be like, you know what, watch me. You know what, I'm not gonna quit. You know what, keep talking your trash. Keep talking your trash. And it can be really exciting to just overcome that negativity by using that as fuel. And I've used negativity as fuel on so many occasions, and I'm sure you guys have too. And it's one of the most rewarding, gratifying feelings to do something and do it well. That somebody said, people who didn't believe in you, and they're like, oh, like, okay, like, do you know what I'm saying? And I would encourage you to use that as fuel. Seriously, and I can understand why you wouldn't, because I've been there, girl. I've been there. And when someone's negative, you just don't know. They might be doing you a huge favor, as weird as that may sound. So I hope that encourages you today. I'm just so appreciative of you sharing your story, because I always love learning more about you guys. But friends, I'm going to be logging off here soon. So does anyone have any questions or any other concerns? She says, Michaela says, it would be nice to show them. I know they are just projecting their own insecurities. And that is right, girl. And it takes a lot of maturity to be able to acknowledge that. And you might have your moments where it just gets on your dang nerves, but that is very mature of you. You're definitely being the bigger person there. But I know that, girl, it's going to take consistency. It doesn't have to be fast. You just have to keep showing up. You just have to keep showing up. And to anyone who's recently fallen off track, guys, just reset as soon as the next meal. As soon as the next meal, that's all you got to do, my friends. That's all you need to do. So I love you guys. I want you to have an amazing day today. Remember, the one-on-one online coaching sale is 50% off. That offer ends tomorrow. If you want to learn what 6-week shred is best for you, take the quiz on gaugegirltraining.com for your macro type, and that's going to lead you to the best plan. So please enjoy, my friends. I love you all. Having a wonderful rest of the day. And before you sign off, please just give this live stream a thumbs up and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and hit the bell for notifications, so that way when I do live again, you'll get a notification right away. So peace out. Bye, friends.